All right. This is going to be our second year. This is December 31st, 2023. We come to this campground at Riverview. Am I right? Riverview Campground on the Mississippi River. And this is at Faraday, correct? Vidalia. Okay, Vidalia. I'm sorry. We come here every year to look at the fireworks for New Year's Eve. We came here last year at the same time, and we made a trip to we looked for Jerry Lee Lewis's grave site. Jerry Lee Lewis has probably died a little over a year and a half ago, and we were surprised at the area where he was actually buried at. It's in the middle of nowhere. I think the little small town is Clayton, Louisiana. Is it Mississippi? Clayton, Mississippi.
Louisiana.
Clayton, Louisiana. Well, like I said, it's in the middle of nowhere. Middle of a field. And I guess you can't compare between going to visit Elvis Presley's gravesite to Jerry Lee Lewis, because Jerry Lee Lewis was always, I guess, competing with Elvis as being the king. But anyway, that's where we're gonna head today to see if actually a tombstone has been put there. His family actually his whole family members are buried at this little small site, but nothing compared to what you would go see to Memphis and Elvis Presley's home and grave and all that stuff, and all the things that they have going on there. But Jerry Lee Lewis was just as great of a star back in the day with all the big singers. So we're heading there to this unbelievable little grave site out of nowhere. We're following the Levee Road, and we're following the river actually. This is actually a different route. Probably don't know if we're going to pass by the actual.
That's just a shortcut.
Yeah, I don't know if he's going to pass by the actual little funeral home that he was in. Wasn't his funeral home in Faraday?
Yes.
His funeral was done in Faraday. And it was a very small funeral. So I don't know how long of a trip this is going to be. Taking a right here on Logan Road. I'll give you the address.
Which this is just a shortcut from the campground to the main road here.
Right. So, Holly, maybe you can give them the actual address. Do you have the actual address to this area? Because, like I said, if you're visiting Natchez, and you want to pay respects to the great Jerry Lee Lewis, the killer, you can take this little route to the middle of nowhere where he's been actually buried. I might have to do a part 2 on this, because it might be like the ride might be a little long and you might get bored. We'll maybe stop the video.
It is 18 miles from where we're located.
So it's 18 miles, so we may have to just video parts, maybe be parts 1, 2, and 3. I don't have I'll stop and go on the recorder here, but well, at least I don't want to do it. But if you notice, this is on the road of farmland, and here in Vidalia, where we're at, and
It's on the water tower. Vidalia.
you can see Vidalia on the water tower. How do you have the actual address to this gravesite that everybody can?
It is the Heron Family Cemetery, and the actual address is 180 Parr Road, 1B as in boy dash 87 in Clayton, Louisiana 71326.
Yeah, that's a little old, small graveyard. It seems like most of his family. There's another family in there that I don't recognize, but it's most of his family. I think he lost a son at a young age. I think his wife was buried there, and his mom and dad or something. But like I said, it's actually in the middle of nowhere. So sorry about that. My phone fell. I told her it was my fault, but she didn't listen. All right, we're in probably 6 minutes into this video.
We're coming up on Highway 84.
Yeah, Highway 84. This is where I remember coming the other way.
Which will just bring you through the town of Vidalia. So we just took a shortcut back road from the campground.
We take a left on 84 from where we were coming from. And like I said, I might continue this video and then upload it on YouTube, and then you can fast forward it or whatever that you get tired of. Or she messing up the camera footage. Thought it'd be better if she just tried to hold it. Show this. I'm not prepared making videos, and this could be our first video to do something like this. Traveling anyway, so. But like I said, it's very interesting to see how popular and famous Jerry Lee was, and where he's actually buried at. I guess while you're living and you're very, very popular, but you're gone. But like I said, there's no comparison to what Elvis has up there in Memphis. There was times when Jerry Lee tried to get into Memphis. There was a story. There was a story of actually Elvis, of Jerry Lee Lewis trying to get in Graceland at one time, and in the middle of the night, I think, and the guard, I think that Jerry Lee Lewis tried to bump the gates or whatever, and the guard asked Elvis what he wanted him to do, and I think Elvis called the cops. Elvis told the guard to call the cops on him, and I think they arrested Jerry Lee because Jerry Lee was actually drunk or loaded or whatever, and I think they arrested him that night. And I think that's a story you can hear. I don't know the exact story, but I do know that he was arrested trying to go see Elvis. What Jerry Lee Lewis said, that Elvis had told him to come by. But there's two different stories. When we went to Memphis last year at Thanksgiving, we stopped by Jerry Lee Lewis, and that was right before he. No, take that back. It was Jerry Lee Lewis had died when we went. He's already died. Yeah.
He had just passed away.
Yeah, Jerry Lewis just passed away when we went up there. We stopped by Jerry Lewis's ranch, they call it. And it's a ranch, and before we even got to Memphis, at Elvis's house, to go see him, his home, and there was actually a sign outside outside his home, and you would see, I think, one of his sons actually. Is that his real son, stepson, or that is?
I think that's his real son. One was his real, and I think one was his stepbrother.
Yeah. So
I have to do a little history on that, so I'm not 100% sure.
yeah. So it was. He was given an actual tours of the home, and it was pretty neat. They showed a lot of his gold albums and a lot of the things that were in the actual home. But there's the gates themselves have a big black piano on the gates, and so if you're making a trip up toward Memphis, there, I think it's right before you get to Memphis, you got to turn off the interstates. I don't know the exact address right now, but
It wasn't far.
it's not far from Memphis. It's actually his home, but it's a little nice little home off the road, brick fence with the ranch.
With the rebel statue.
Yep. And there was also a sign we saw that Jerry Lewis was actually was deputy sheriff or something in that little county.
Yes.
I mean, it's in the middle of nowhere also. That little place where Jerry Lewis's home is in the middle of nowhere. So, I'll tell you what, we're doing a long drive here. I don't want to keep talking and stuff, but we'll do a part 2 on this once we get closer, and we'll continue this